Hi everyone. Welcome to the first part of this SQL playlist. Today we are diving into one of the most powerful and essential tool for working with data, which is SQL. Whether you are just starting out or looking to refresh your skills, this video is for you. In this intro, I am going to cover what SQL is, why it is so important, and how it can help you manage and analyze data in databases. So let's get started. So, first thing first, what is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language and it's the standard language used to interact with databases. You use SQL to perform a wide range of operations like retrieving data, inserting new records, updating existing information, and deleting unnecessary data from a database. Now, think of SQL as a language you use to communicate with a database, just like you can use a language to talk with other people. But instead of talking, you are asking a database to show you information, add new entries, or modify the old ones. Now, you might be asking, why should I learn SQL? Well, SQL is incredibly powerful and widely used across industries. It's the language behind almost every major database you will work with, including MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, and Microsoft SQL Server, or any other relational database. If you work in data analysis, software development, or business intelligence, learning SQL is a must have skill. SQL is everywhere, and since almost every business today rely on data to make decision, learning SQL opens up countless career opportunities. So, before we dive into writing SQL, let's understand what a database is. A database is simply a collection of data organized in a structured way. Most databases are relational, which means they store data in tables made up of rows and columns. Each table holds information about specific topics like customer, products, or orders. For example, if you have a table called employees, each row in that table would represent a different employee, and each column might contain details like the name, position, salary, etc. Here is an example of a table given below. Let's have a quick look at the basic structure of an SQL query. SQL is mostly written in plain English, which makes it easy to understand once you get the hang of it. Here's a simple query to start with. Select star from employees where age is greater than 30. This query uses select keyword to tell the SQL that we want to retrieve data. The from keyword specifies which table to pull the data from, in this case, the employee table. The where clause filtered the results based on a condition. In this case, we are looking for employees who are older than 30. Now let's have a quick look on some of the components of an SQL query. The basic components, which consist select, this part tells SQL what columns you want to see. In this case, we want to see the name of the employees. From command, this part tells SQL from which table to pull the data from. In this case, the employee table. Where clause. This clause filters the data we are looking from employees department, whose department is HR. Example of this you can see right here in this picture. Let's have a look on some SQL command categories. They are the most common types. First, data manipulation language, DML. These commands are used to work with data inside the tables. These consist of select to retrieve the data, insert to add new data, update to modify existing data, delete to remove data. Then comes data definition language, also known as DDL. These commands define or modify the structure of the database. It consists of create to create a new table, alter to modify an existing table, drop to delete a table. Then comes data control language, also known as DCL. These command manage user access and it has two types, grant and revoke. Grant to give permission to users, revoke to take permissions away. Now let's talk about some SQL operators and functions. SQL also provide operators and functions to help you fine-tune your queries. For example, some of them are comparison operators equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to, between, and in. Logical operators and or not. Aggregate functions includes count, sum, average, minimum, maximum, and many other, which we are going to talk about in the later videos. Let's have a look at SQL data types. SQL data types consist of int, varchar, date, and boolean. You can see in the screenshot here. Int is used for integer number, varchar used for variable length text, date for date values, and boolean for true false values. Confused? Don't worry. We will dive deeper into each of these concepts in the later videos. But just know that SQL has these different command types to manage both the structure of the database and the data inside it. To actually run SQL queries, you will need some tools. There are several SQL IDEs, also known as integrated development environments, available. Like you can see here, DuckDB, Trino, Pinnet, Presto, PostgreSQL, Snowflakes, Databricks, Warebots, Apache Sedona, SQL Azure, BigQuery, Amazon Redshift, MariaDB, MySQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, IBM DB2, and much more. In this course, we are going to use PostgreSQL for the practical concepts. So that's in it for today's introduction to SQL. I hope you have a good basic understanding of what SQL is and how it's used to manage data in databases. In the next video, we'll start delving deeper into the practicality of these concepts we actually learned, starting with installing PostgreSQL on Windows.